Good day. This is Josh Belk with the Belk on Business podcast. On today's podcast, we're going to talk a little bit about impact and how leaders can make an impact. So the title of today's podcast, Leadership and Impact. I think I mentioned this on a podcast a couple weeks ago. I was out in Salt Lake City, Utah, here within actually last month, with a group of a smaller group. It's about 30, 40 of us, and some of the business owners in that particular room were business owners who own relatively pretty good sized businesses. And one thing I noticed, and it's really came to light in an event I'm gonna mention here in just a moment. But one thing I noticed as I listened to some of these gentlemen speak and some of these ladies speak, and then had interaction with them in personal conversations, is every single one of them had a mission, had a purpose, had a vision that was far surpassed their particular business, meaning they were wanting to make an impact beyond just trying to make money or to grow their employees, or even just beyond serving their customers. And so I'm going to talk a little bit about that today. And I think when the one moment when I was in this room that it really came to a head was when the gentleman who runs that particular group brought in a gentleman that was that had a nonprofit that was attempting to raise money for really trying to help in a foreign country stop the sex trafficking trade, or make an impact in that country. And I saw literally within a matter of, and I would say within seconds, but within a couple minutes, well over $100,000 raised by a small group in this room, because it was a group of leaders who had made a decision that they wanted to make an impact that was one well beyond just trying to make money or trying to serve their customers. And of course, as a business owner, the number one thing that we're trying to do is to, on a daily basis, and I would say on the micro, is making sure that our clients are served and they are served well. The type of businesses that I own, they're all service businesses. I don't have a product business, but they're all service businesses. And every single one of them, whether it's in the accounting firm end and trying to make sure that my clients are served and served well, whether it's a daycare or a tutoring company, we want to make sure that the children, the young people that we serve, and their parents are served and served well. And of course, we want to make sure that we're making money in those businesses. Profitability is extremely important for the viability of any business. But one thing that within each one of these businesses and with the other business owners that I align myself with, I really want to look beyond just the day-to-day, just beyond the profitability, just beyond serving customers. But I really want to make sure that an impact is being made, just not in their lives, but at a larger scale as well. So 4 points here on leadership and impact. Number one, making an impact is contingent on having a mission beyond serving customers, building employees, and making money. I just alluded to that. So as you look at your business, what is the delineator or the distinguishing areas, not just within your service or product offering? We've talked about that in prior podcasts. And of course, you need something to delineate you, to differentiate you from your competition. Otherwise, you're just constantly operating in red ocean. But going beyond that, what is going to be that delineator as it relates to the impact that you're wanting to make? Do you know what that is? What is that mission? What is that purpose? What are those goals, what I call impact goals, that are beyond just the profitability goals or the development goals or those goals that you have within the company? Do you have goals that far surpass just those that you have just within inside the four walls of your business, or within just those people that you call employees or team members, or those individuals or companies that you call clients, and some of those people in your network? Do you have a grander vision, a larger purpose beyond just that smaller group of individuals where you really want to truly make an impact? Number two, making impact requires alignment. So there has to be alignment. And when I was in this room out in Salt Lake City, I saw the gentleman that headed this up. And of course, he had a really strong relationship with all of us. And we all came from different types of businesses. And they really ran the gamut from product businesses to service businesses to online type businesses to it just really kind of every type of business that you could think of. There were different types of business. Those types of businesses were in that room. But one thing that gentleman was able to do was to bring alignment quickly, because he was a tremendous leader. Both the two primary individuals really was able to bring alignment with that group in order to make an impact. And of course, it was an impact that he was wanting to make within his business structure. Then all of a sudden, he was able to bring in the rest of us into this room to make a material impact, a serious impact in a short period of time. So making an impact is going to require alignment. It's going to require alignment that's going to come from you as a leader in your business. Do you have systems in place to make sure that the behavior of those in your community really is going to align with the larger impact that you're wanting to make? Are you rewarding that type of alignment? Do you have measurables in order to bring awareness to it? And do you have all those elements that are in place that are important as to bringing alignment? Measurables that relates to accountability and to culture. A lot of times we think about different indicators in our business. We think about process indicators and what sort of results are we getting from our marketing materials and things of that nature. But are you thinking outside of that? And do you have those indicators in place as it relates to being able to measure the behavior of those within your community as it relates to the larger impact that you're wanting to make? So first of all, making an impact is contingent on having a mission beyond just serving your customers, building employees, and making money. Secondly, making an impact requires alignment. Number three, making an impact requires leaders and leadership to set the tone. Within most businesses, the leaders of the business are just truly managers and not a whole lot more. They come into the business every day and they're simply just managing the work. They're managing the employees, but they don't take the time to step back and really kind of not just work on the business, but also work on the strategy that relates to making an impact. Statistics prove this. The average leader spends less than 1 day within their month thinking about strategy, thinking about alignment, thinking about making an impact. And even worse than that, when we talk about leadership teams, and these are called different things within businesses. Some may have they may call that leadership meeting different things. But when you get together with the key individuals inside of your business, many times those meetings are just focused on the process and focused on managing and not focusing on really on getting into the strategy, and especially the broader conversation is of what are we doing in order to make an impact in the communities in which we want to serve. And so making impact requires us as leaders within our businesses to be able to make sure that conversation is being had, to make sure that those measurables in place, and making sure that we're regularly reminding just not our employees and our clients, but also other people in our network to make sure that they're aware of what the impact that we're wanting to make, and then how are we going to create that alignment. So making impact requires leaders to set the tone. And when we talk about making an impact, it's just not just talk. Are we also making sure that they're seeing what we're doing in order to make an impact? When I was out in Utah, and I promise you, every single one of those individuals that got on board with the impact that group was trying to make, and I know I did here, and I'm sure just about every single one of them went back to their employees, to their client, to their community, and let them know, hey, this is something we got on board with. And I came back, I know, here within my team, and I was saying, hey, you should go and watch this documentary on this particular group. And this is something that we've done as a business to try to make an impact, a larger impact. And so making sure that we're setting the tone, just not in talk, but also in action. Number 4, making an impact requires the ability to make hard choices. It is so natural for us to procrastinate, to not want to take those steps as it relates to truly making an impact. And to make sure that we're not procrastinating and that we're able and we're willing to make the hard choices that relates to make sure that we're making an influence. It becomes real easy just to kind of we make our money to save the profit, to hopefully reinvest some back into the company and to buy the next thing and kind of help ourselves try to make ourselves feel better by maybe buying the new gadget that we're wanting to buy, and essentially the aura of who we are and all of that, but just putting those things off to the side and really begin to focus on what is the impact that I want to make. And many times it's going to be it's going to require making a hard choice. This last week at the church I attend, we had a missions conference, and the pastor of the church got up and said, here's some areas that we're wanting to make an impact. And what are you as far as the individuals in the room? If you're on board with trying to make an impact, are you willing to make some sacrifices in order to be able to make these things happen? Of course, some people in the room they're not going to get on board. Others are, yes, I do want to make an impact worldwide in some of these communities. And so there was some purposeful thought that was brought to the room. And then beyond just making the hard choice, there was a push to not procrastinate. What sort of decision are we going to make? Let's go ahead and let's get on board and let's go ahead and let's move forward. When I was in Utah, it was literally within seconds. People were raising their hands and willing to get on board and to make an impact. And so to not procrastinate. So leadership must have specific actions that are communicated with those in the company, clients, and the network to be able to push the business forward, to be able to make sure that everyone is aligned in order to reach those impact goals that the leaders have put into place. I think more than anything, my one goal within this particular podcast was just to get us thinking beyond just the process. And I'm on so many calls where we're focused on process, we're focused on KPIs, but to get that broader picture of what sort of impact are you as an owner wanting to make in your business, not just within your business, but in the larger community and maybe even a worldwide community. To think beyond just a micro and to really have a bigger picture, a bigger vision, a bigger purpose for your life and for your business beyond just getting that next thing that you're hoping to get. Hope this particular podcast brought you value. If you did, I would strongly encourage you, please consider subscribing to the Belk on Business podcast. Once again, my name is Josh Belk. Have a wonderful day.